Alright, well, let me sit y'all down and have a discussion, right? Because what we have is someone who doesn't actually understand the discussion, but he still feels this need to place himself above people despite not understanding what's going on. You know, that type of person that they don't care, but they have to truly and really express to you how much they don't care because they don't care. And it's like, what is something I don't care? Like football. Like, I cannot force myself to care, even if everyone around me does. It's just something I cannot do. Like, I tried, I really did. Maybe I'm defective. I don't care about football. So if someone's discussing their teams and discussing the rulings of people like and they're spurging out, I mean, I'll just let them spurg out. Like I mean, I'll give my opinion given the context. But other than that, it's just like, well, it's my opinion. But here we have someone who doesn't care, but really needs to morally grandstand over a topic that he just doesn't understand. So let's give this a watch. Apparently, he crashes out to racist goes perfect reaction to racist. I mean, it's Kotaku. We don't know the quote unquote racist. It's this fictional person that apparently existed. But let's give this a watch, shall we?
We're gonna put you in timeout for like a day. There's no reason to be making comments like that. I'm gonna make this clear. If you're just coming here to get into this weird fucking race shit about a historical figure that existed in Japanese history, I'm just gonna remove you. And guess what? It means you ain't gonna be around for Kazan or Night Rain or AI Limit or any of that shit. I don't.
Yeah, again, and you're saying the exact same thing I said in 2016 when, the wokies, the liberals, the social justice warrior, the type of person that one thing about him, everything, every political slant about him, when they tried to push this odd race and gender politics in the video games. Because look, the term gamer used to be a unifying term because it was us demanding this gaming companies, the products be worth the money you're paying. And we're very unified in this. And because of that, we got good products. Lo and behold, when the consumer demands, the consumer gets what the fuck they want. But somewhere over like 2016, 17, 18, these odd ideological individuals just really wanted to push ideology into video games. Rather, it was race, sex, sexuality, gender politics into games. And okay, we moved away. We're like, okay, let's keep them over there. We'll stay over here and just discuss games. But then these people entered the gaming industry because of social issues, and now they're actively changing games from within. So now the very products we play, the very games you play, have these odd, weird things and that no one really relates to. Nobody cares about, but they have to push it in there. And the consumer points it out. But when the consumer points it out, the exact same type of people are like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you being political, right? And it's like, well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're just being subversive. And this is what pisses me off. And, in Gamergate, the journalists and every single journalistic outlet did everything in their power to destroy gaming as an identity. They're like, gamers are dead, gamers are racist, gamers are this, gamers are that. You don't need to adhere to gamers. And it was wildly successful. Like, even in like E3 and in the Game Awards, they do everything in their power to not use the word gamer. Like, they're scared to death of the word. The word just, it scares them at night. Because they knew it was unifying, and they knew if they called them this, again, people would go after them. Because, oh, gamer's effectively a slur. And because of that, I mean, we have situations like this game that people just don't really care. Like, people shit on Ubisoft, people shit on the game, but at the end of the day, we just do it for content.
Give a fuck what your opinion is of this game. I don't care. Your opinion is worthless to me. The quality of health of my morning shit had a bigger impact on my thought process today than you being upset that there's a black guy in Assassin's Creed. So shut the fuck up. All right? We're not doing this shit. It's a fucking video game. If you are upset that there's a black guy in a video game, fuck off. I don't want you here.
Again, you're just failing to understand the discussion. Nobody cares if there's a black guy in a video game. Like, there's African American characters in anime. There's African American characters in, games in the past. Like, black characters in games in the past. Like Street Fighter. Like, every single game that actually sold and was good, nobody. Okay, if you really gotta look for that one person, you'll probably find them. But the majority, the people that buy the game, puts food on the table of the company, does not care. So why is it that all of a sudden, with this game, people care, when the numerous games in the past, like any type of entertainment that actually sells, even like fucking gacha games, for fuck's sake, nobody cares? Like, again, it's being odd, being subversive, being weird about it, that I don't understand, but I understand what's going on.
I don't care. Stop. I'm not doing this fucking argument. Every goddamn game these days. Oh, it's woke. Oh, there's a black guy. Oh, there's a trans person. Shut the fuck up.
Again, the exact same people in 2016 pushed these things into these games against the consumer. Well, at first the consumer didn't care. They're like, sure, have it. But we know the ideology of the people that push these things into games. They have to do it obnoxiously. They have to do it in a way to talk down on the consumer, talk down on the gamer, talk down, even fucks up the companies themselves. Because these games don't sell. They get laughed out of the fucking court. No one cares about them. All anyone really cares, more people are shitting on Assassin's Creed than actually playing the game. But the journalists will run defense. Like, this is the football field we're living in, right? 4 games are released and they're just bad by companies that are garbage and hire these people to add these things into these games. Like, and I said it before and I'll say it again. Diversity is one important facet of games, but the people trying to push this, they're grifting. They're trying to inject themselves as consultants, but they don't add to the gaming as an art. They don't add to gaming to gamers or the consumers. If anything, they shit on the consumer, right? They come in with daddy issues, and they come in with the maturity of a 5-year-old. No, fucking a 5-year-old would be more mature than these individuals. And people see this. People are pointing, like, people do this thing where they point out patterns, right? The thing that scares any ideological individual, like any Karen, anyone who worries about what other people do, like the type of individual that points out patterns it can actively represent what's going on, scares these ideological individuals to death, right? That's why they censor, it's why they ban, it's why they spurg out when they don't get their way or when someone contradicts them, right?
Either play the game or go the fuck outside, bro. It's not that hard. God damn. I've been on this earth 37 fucking years. When I was a kid, guess what? If a game came out and I didn't want to get involved with it, I didn't fucking play with it. I didn't go on the internet and cry like an entitled little child, wah, 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 wah. The game doesn't have stuff that I want.
Well, okay, so you hit the fucking golden age of gaming when you actually played good fucking games made by good fucking people who could actually make games as an art, right? You've been on this earth long enough to experience that. So when shit like this is happening, when the tides change, and when people find out, oh hey, guess what? These companies are not working in the interest of the consumer. Like the individuals that they hire aren't working in the interest of the consumer, and they're pointing it the fuck out, right? Like I don't want to do this. I don't want to be doing this on my channel, screaming to like 2 or 3 people that's gonna come across my fucking videos, right? Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have good games that I play, right? But if it's just a fucking game, right, then what the fuck is your, like, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if it's just a game. Like, clearly gaming is a hobby. It's things that people do to get their minds off of real life. Maybe their life sucks, maybe they hate their job, and they play games to release themselves from reality. But when you do that, these ideological individuals with mommy daddy issues put that shit in the games, alright? And you're like, I'm trying to run away from this, but here it is. And Ubisoft clearly is trying to do that. Like, at every step, they're clearly really trying to do this, but then the culture changed, so they had to change some of it because, I mean, most companies just kind of follow the culture. It's just this culture was interjected. It's not what the consumer wanted. It's what the company was told to do, right? So if it's just a video game, well then people should be able to shit on it for whatever reason, right? It doesn't matter. It's just a game. Why are you flipping the fuck out?
So shut the fuck up and leave, bro. Are you that much of a fucking loser that you're seeking out streams of a game you don't like just to be like, wah, I don't like this. There's a black guy. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
Again, you're failing to understand the discussion and the argument, right? People that don't care for the fact that there's a black guy in the game. People care why. Like, people care the individuals that try to add quote-unquote diversity. They don't do it right. They don't have any type of accountability or any type of, like, creativity. They're just like, no, just slap it in there. Because we need our ESG, we need our loans, and we need all of that. And the company's clearly not going to take what the consumer wants. Like news outlets aren't going to understand or take what the consumer wants because these are consumers, right? That guy, that quote unquote racist, could have possibly been a person that handed you their cold hard cash for this product, but because Ubisoft is incapable of actually making a good product, they make this and interject these things in. And if no one cares, why is the fucking Japanese government shitting on this game? Right? Why is every single Japanese person I see, other than ideological shills and communists, shitting on this game? If it's just a game. People understand the effect entertainment and media has on culture. Like, this isn't something that no one can understand. You understand this, which is why you're having this tirade. I ain't watching all this shit, but
nobody cares. That's all. This is the only rant. I'm getting this shit out of the way now. Stop. Because any comment, any fucking comment, I'm just gonna ban you. I don't care. I'm just gonna fucking ban you. I don't care. I don't have time for it, bro. I'm here to play a fucking game, not listen to you cry about a black dude that existed in history, that was brought over to Japan as a slave and then taken on by Nobunaga and made a fucking retainer. All right.
But that's not like, yes, people know what the one line of dialogue about this character. The problem people have is Ubisoft tried to push this off as legendary. They cross-reference a guy who changed his own Wikipedia page about Yasuke, making him a samurai just to change his book. He effectively plagiarized or lied about himself just to sell his own book. And now people are keep referencing this guy, even though it's a lie. And he even himself said this. He's like, well, I just did it to sell my goddamn book, right? It's not the fact that this character existed, it's how he's implemented and how Ubisoft really did try to push ideology in this game. But then the culture shifted, and again, the game got pushed back so many times because they probably had to redo some things. Because I wanted to see that cut before they did all the changes, right? And again, if no one's going to listen, yeah, you're going to have people in your chat saying woke, woke, DEI, woke, woke, woke. Because again, nobody else is listening. No one else is taking the consumer into account other than, like Asmongold, some fucking dude with millions of people watching. Like, most of his takes are just basic bitch. I mean, he's just an average guy, and he can explain things to average people, right? Like, if no one's going to take the consumer into consideration, then yeah, you're going to have these people flooding your comments. And if you don't care, then what the fuck is this rant? But anyway, I can't stomach this. That's all I gotta say about this. I mean, it's odd. Again, people don't really try to understand what's being said. They just spurg. But that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.